I love
Um,
poetry for all these reasons, and your book brings all this to bear. You cover many different types of form. Your poems are lively and creative on the page. You explore different types of expression. You have what could be called a confessional autobiographical style. Clearly, the narrator seems to be you at times. Other times, it's some other party. And again, the ambiguity feeds into the interest that the reader has to find out who is doing the narration, what the impact is. And sometimes the stakes are life and death, just like your career. You bring up some heavy situations and topics, and sometimes in an unexpected and surprising way throughout the many poems in the book. So I appreciate the advanced screening, and I found it creative, emotionally resonant, and expertly crafted. There's a feeling and a flavor of language which is seamlessly entwined with the intent and action. So kudos to you from this one bald guy writer on the other coast of the
appreciate it.
United
That's
States. And and I can maybe reinforce my own enthusiasm with a quote, if you don't mind me reading it. It's from Lawrence
yeah.
Robb. He's the author of Mistaking Each Other for Ghosts, which has its own credibility, long listed for the National Book Award, named one of the best poetry books of 2015 by the New York Times. And he got a peek at the art of undoing, and what he wrote was this: loss, the undoing of things, is a compelling central concern in Hudson Plumb's fine collection of poems. But his title also suggests restoration and invention, the art of poetry. Although things come apart, these poems remain committed to the richness and pleasures of accumulation. There is so much to see in the world. If the news seems hopeless, quote, and time no longer stretches its pretty ribbon before us, unquote, as Plum writes in one particularly lovely poem, we still linger and listen. And when we look up, our eyes are, quote, focused on clouds passing between the fingers of a eucalyptus tree. A nice poetic homage to your poetry.
Yeah. I admire Larry Robb so much, and he taught me so well. Like I said, how to read a poem. It was the pillar or the foundation that later helped me learn how to write a poem. And having your ear out for that, like he did a great exercise, Spitz, that you would have gotten a kick out of. In his poetry class at Williams College, he would take selections of poems, various old and new poems, and he'd pull out a line or two and he'd take a couple words out, and he'd ask the class to fill in what would work there, or what we thought the poet might have written. And it was such a fantastic exercise because, try as you might, it was very hard to put anything into those lines that would really resonate even 1,000th as well as what the poet had put in there. So, like for example, this is one I'll never forget. He said there was a line, the pears fatten like, and we had to fill that in. The pears fatten like what? And I don't know if you want to give it a go, but I'll tell you what Sylvia Plath wrote. Little Buddhas. The pears fatten like little Buddhas. And it just suddenly, yes,
That's
of
great. I
course.
mean, again, the morphology of the fruit with the little Buddhas with their big old booties.
Yeah, exactly.
that that's actually
So
classic Sylvia too, with that irreverent, almost childish humor and the playfulness with the language. That's great.